I think it will get to a point where either NNPC, the Minister of Petroleum, Lupo Obiri, the
States.
NNPD...
Lupo Obiri is for states.
States.
The supervising minister for petroleum is Mr. President himself.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't very intentional when I said Mr. Petroleum. I knew where I was going. That's why I did mention Mr. President. Because over the years, successive administrations, we've not had a substantive minister. The president has always held sway as far as that position is concerned. But my worry is, look, NNPC, NMBDRA, that's in charge of the midstream importation and all that, will always have one excuse. One time it was because we didn't have ability to, due to the weather, we couldn't berth some of these ships. Then the apparatus to use inshore, offshore, I'm sure they've exhausted
all the lies, all the stories.
Excuse me.
All the stories, all the explanations.
As Josh
I am sure they've exhausted all the explanation they can give. Now, we're at the point that it's either they come out with the truth or they just forever hold their peace, and they will get the resultant effect of always playing kalu-kalu. In case you don't know what, that's dice with Nigerians. Because
kalu different from pool.
Which one? I don't know. What I'm just saying is you're playing games with Nigerians. And at this point, how can you explain we having one of the largest refineries, single-line refineries in the world?
Moribund refineries.
How can we have that in Nigeria?
Moribund refineries. Your refineries aren't working.
I can't... NNPC will come... They had better come
this is August now. They promised August. We are watching. The Port Harcourt refinery will work in August. This is August. Today is
19th day of August.
There's no wala. We are watching now. Continue to play dice, play games, all sorts of things with our emotions, with our well-being. It is not fair.
And you know the funny, the other time I felt it was a joke because they just called me from home. They said, sorry, the inverter has gone down. It's all full. I just thought about it, and there's no electricity. I had to branch one few. I noticed that there was there was no queue. That's it. I mean, so I just branched. Guess how much it was?
1,000.
890.
890.
890.
In Lagos.
Where have you been?
That's another question. In Lagos.
Where have you been?
In some other parts.
It is 1,000 plus.
Yes, in some other parts it's 1,000.
In Lagos, even in Lagos, I've seen 960. In Lagos, I've seen 960 in Lagos, in town here.
Has your income changed?
No.
So that's where the challenge is. When you make this commodities scarce,
how do you want people to survive?
I don't get it.
Where do you want them to get that money to augment the difference between the amount you used to buy and what you're buying now?
And the problem is, no one is
talking to us. Nobody bothers. It is
I can't explain it though. In some other climes, the guy would have resigned, the person in charge. By the way, Mr. President is leaving the country today.
He's on his way to France.
For France.
Of course, we need to go. I don't know with the jet he's using, but what the move jet is Mr. President?
Joshua, don't go there. Do not go there.
The one that they seized.
No, on the one that was released.
When the presidential jet was faulty, maybe he traveled. And I don't want to. Don't let me go somewhere.
Jibola say it.
I know that
you're a man. Jibola say it.
I know there are some people in this country. They are blessed to have private jets.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Mr. President is one of them.
Mr. President has a private jet, I guess, even before he became a... Yes.
He does?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know whether he's going to...
Now I know.
But I'm sure he shouldn't be part of his assets. He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Chinese firm released one of the private jets. Maybe that's
one out of three.
They cannot release it. It's still a subject of litigation.
They said they released one over the weekend. One, just one. Not
don't worry, they will resolve it. But I wish we were talking about this too, because oftentimes Nigerians are known for this, and so many countries they play tricks with Nigeria. They play tricks with us a lot.
Former governor of Ogun State,
Amosu and Patutomi.
Professor Patutomi.
Things happen in this country. But
the more you look, the less you see. But that's what I'm saying. You've got an agreement with a subnational. and you went to an industrial court, what were you looking? Don't forget that we are signatory to so many things. Some people will be wondering, why is it buying? You know, when you initially, what they should have done, I'm not a lawyer, but I've covered judiciary for years. And what I know is you stop that ab initio before you even get set in that court.
They forgot.
You don't start it. Remember, we are still suffering from PI and D.
They forgot.
In UK, where country was awarded.
Nigeria is an interesting country,
complex,
and whether we like it or not, we'll continue to navigate the murky waters of our development. You know, we are very peculiar, we are very special. Nigeria is Nigeria. So we'll quickly take our news point this morning. Let's start from Lagos, where Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu yesterday commissioned another flyover in Mushin local government.
Okay, this is a good news. So, Sanwo-Olu unveils last red line flyover in Mushin. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has formally commissioned the Mushin flyover, the last of the 5 overpasses built along the Red Line rail corridor. Sanwo-Olu, flanked by his deputy, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, and members of the state cabinet, inaugurated the project undertaken by Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, and this happened on Saturday. The infrastructure is expected to relieve motorists and commuters connecting Agege Motor Road from Onikpanu of traffic and to solve congestion and delays associated with the railway level crossing at Ogumokun access. I hope I got that right. The overpass also eliminated pedestrian and vehicular interferences on the rail tracks, eradicating the risks of accidents and collisions between trains and vehicles. And one good thing, I want to read that part. Okay. At the event, the governor also disclosed that there was a primary school. What's that? A primary school was demolished in the right-of-way of the flyover, and the governor announced that it has been rebuilt in a nearby location. And he also commended residents of Mushin and Onikpan for supporting the development. This is a good one. This would certainly ease traffic congestion. And this is what we'll be looking at on our own part when it's our time on the show today.
You know what I like about the Lagos State government? People are not just paying their taxes. People can see what the government of the day is doing with their taxes. And then for those who are yet to be in the tax brackets, I hope this will prick your conscience to at least pay. Because whether you pay your tax or not, it will use that bridge.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Haven't you noticed that I'm in a good mood today?
Okay. Did you win jackpot?
No. Chelsea lost over the weekend.
What's the meaning of that?
Yes.
We
are Chelsea fans.
Right? Oh, you're a Chelsea fan too?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
It's just the beginning of the season. Don't worry. It's just the beginning of the season.
So I'm happy
that we lost.
That we started early.
We lost to a better team. That we started losing early. Joshua, after investing so much.
How many players do we get? It's about 11 players. Besides, the last time it was about 1 billion naira worth of players we got.
And we got nothing.
Anything. See, I've been able to distract you from the seriousness of the conversation. Oh, the bottom line is, look, it is good that we have a state that is working. That being said, it doesn't make any sense for us to have the flyover when we queue, when the queues that will cause traffic hold up. In fact, we need to get that red line going. But I'm sure by September, the test run is happening now, then they will soon call other people to join very soon. I'm looking forward to it.
And the purple, the green,
yes,
the other lines
looking
will
forward
join.
to it. It's a commendable effort by the state government. 5, that's the 5th one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Also making it, don't forget the one from along that axis of the red lines. So we won't have incidents or accidents.
Unnecessary loss of lives.
Unnecessary loss of lives. So this is the appeal. If you are on that axis, please use the flyover bridge.
All right. I didn't pay your story.
Fake degrees. Federal government orders varsities to submit matriculation list. The federal government has mandated all higher institutions in the country to regularly submit their matriculation lists to the Federal Ministry of Education not later than 3 months after matriculation ceremonies. The list, the government said, must be submitted through the dedicated channel of a Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. The initiative is one of the recommendations made by a committee set up by the federal government to combat fake degree mills or racketeers in the country. Recall in March, the federal government set up an inter-ministerial investigative committee on degree certificate milling to probe the activities of certificate racketeers following an investigative report published when a Nigerian exposed the activities of fake degree mills in the Benin Republic. It was revealed how he obtained a degree within 6 weeks and even proceeded to embark on the mandatory youth service under the National Youth Service Course Scheme back here. Yeah. The report also exposed the illegalities perpetrated by some tertiary institutions in the West African countries, led to the Nigerian government placing a ban on the accreditation and evaluation of degrees from Benin Republic and Togo.
So, degrees, I don't know what to call them now. Maybe it is pure water. But beyond that of Benin Republic and Togo, internally we also have some racketeers,
yes,
you know, selling certificate of institutions right within the country here. There was a time I had a discussion with Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa. She went to a particular university. She was on an official visit to Benin Republic, and she saw a university inside a porter cabin. Yes.
In Benin Republic?
In Benin Republic. The students were so few, and she had to call her friend whose daughter was attending that school that if you like yourself, withdraw this girl and take her back to Unilag or Ife or LASU. That this is not a university, but a glorified secondary school. And over the weekend, you recall this particular story that trended last week as well. Unical students, hairdressers, bread sellers, serving Nigeria.
Serving Nigeria.
With which certificate? Everything is possible in Nigeria, I swear. You can go to prison today and become a governor tomorrow.
Yeah.
Time it was in this country when somebody was in prison for years and he came back, you know, attended a Thanksgiving service, Ashwebi and everything. And there was no remorse. That's okay. Prison is prison now. After all, former president, there was a former president of this country. He was a prisoner, and later he became the president.
Mandela too went to prison.
But we have prisoners of conscience.
Anyway,
in as much as the laws of the land allows them to contest for the election,
okay,
I think it is good.
Okay, back to the fake
degrees.
degrees.
Where you have state pardon.
Back to the fake degrees,
judicial.
Back to the fake degrees. It is alleged that, you know, even within tertiary institutions in Nigeria, some heads of departments collide with parents to smuggle
their names.
Yes.
But how would you defend the certificate? Something you did not work for.
But you said it here before now, once you have that quality.
Because when some people right now, you are like, are you sure you are really a graduate?
Even the one that went to university.
That is what I'm saying.
The one that went and you said that studied and worked for it.
That is what I'm saying.
The ones that passed the jam.
Yeah, the one that passed that and
the jam.
Oh yeah, come and talk now. We are waiting for you.
It is well with our country.
Different strokes for different folk. That being said, I think it makes a mess of the certificates we carry, considering that we're a certificate-carrying country.
Yeah.
You have a situation where parents will spend their hard-earned money to send their kids to some institutions, while some people will make a mockery. The thing happens all over, not only in Benin or Togo. It happens in Nigeria. You alluded to that as well. A lot of racketeering. Some people have gotten to 300 level or 400 level before they realize that they are just fake students of those institutions. Yeah. And some people even passed out and served just for them to be recalled years after. Look, what you're carrying is fake. So we have so many things happening. And I think cleaning up the paperwork, including Ministry of Education itself, should wash itself clean of some of these anomalies and some of these inefficiencies that we find in our system. Because all over the world, in fact, there was one time Donald Trump was accused of having a fake university. So it's not only in Nigeria. It happens everywhere in the world. But the systems and the institutions will nip it in the bud or minimize it. But for you to stop having fraudsters or having
No.
fake institutions.
You can't eradicate it
It's never
totally,
going to
no.
happen.
And I think it shouldn't even stop at, submitting matriculation lists. I think they should take it all the way down to when these students start to graduate also. Because some too, you just see them in class and you begin to wonder, okay, I never saw you in my 100 level or 200 level.
It was online.
Entry.
Or
It
is
was
it lie?
online.
You don't have to do 100 levels.
Of course.
Some people
but
transfer
it
from
wasn't
other
direct.
schools too.
It wasn't direct entry. It wasn't direct entry.
Some people also transfer from other schools.
We have ghost workers. We have ghost students.
And we have ghost. Okay, Joshua, your story because of time.
Okay, moving on. NNPCL battles deepening fuel scarcity, black market booms. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has vowed to end the queues for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, by Wednesday as the black market for PMS boom on Sunday. NNPC also declares that it did not owe international oil traders $6.68 billion, as claimed in some quarters, a development which some industry watchers described as a major reason for the widespread PMS scarcity in Nigeria. But despite the national oil firm's assurance that the queues for petrol would clear this week, oil marketers said on Sunday that the loading of product at depots had yet to improve. Black marketers of petrol who sold the commodity in jerry cans took advantage of the situation as they dispensed PMS for as high as 1,200 to 1,500 liters. 500 naira per liter, depending on the area of purchase. Because of Jibola, I will read that part again. Black marketers of petrol who sold the commodity in jerry cans took advantage of the situation as they dispensed PMS for as high as 1,200 to 1,500 liter per liter, depending on the area of purchase.
Okay, we already said so much about this fuel scarcity at the beginning of the program. Because of our time, we'll just gloss over it and, of course, take the next news point, which also affects all of us directly. Food crisis may worsen as flood hits 10 states. Following the floods that have ravaged farmlands in the northern part of the country, agricultural experts and big-time players in the agro-allied industry have sounded the alarm over an impending food crisis across the country. The expert insists that unless urgent and very drastic steps are immediately taken, the crisis may worsen as floods continue to ravage farmlands in the northern part of the country. 10 states, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Samfara, Yobe, Sokoto, and Kebbi are highly affected. In an interview with his medium, an agricultural investor in Yoro, local government area of Bauchi, Bello Yakasai, advised the government to declare an emergency in the food sector across the country. Food crisis may worsen as flood hits 10 states, mostly north.
I don't know. We'll never finish. Sorry.
Kebbi, we're celebrating the reduction in the inflation rate.
And so the thing is, when will we have or read good stories in Nigeria, apart from the one of the flyover in Lagos? Everything is just bad.
It's gloomy.
I don't know. How do we select even the stories that we preview now? We should
Yeah,
have,
they are the realities of our time.
we should have good stories like
They are the realities of our
bumper
time.
harvest come November, December, or January or something. You can't be spoiling my show. I told you that Chelsea lost over. You can't add, and Adesanya also lost. You can't come back and meet me on Monday morning like this.
Adesanya has been losing. You said,
No, it's not.
No,
It's
he's nearing his retirement,
Okay.
actually. So
Okay.
maybe he will take to modeling like Joshua, because that would be the next line of a professional call for Joshua.
Modeling.
Yes.
I do other things apart from being a broadcaster.
Likewise.
Acting.
Yeah. Get into that space.
Acting. Yes.
I want to follow
yes.
your footsteps.
Well, yes, we
What
want
do
to
I-
follow Ajibola's.
The places that I will lead you to, Joshua, you won't be able to cope.
I have God.
Okay.
And I have your leadership or experience
To guide you.
To guide me.
Okay. I hear you. All right. So whether we like it or not, it is what it is. And
Food
fuel
crisis.
scarcity, food
so
crisis.
this is the good part. When you have forecasts,
you should plan ahead.
Thank you. And I'm saying, other countries of the world have floods, but they don't suffer from food crisis. So go to that country. All
And
these
learn
extra
from
codes you are getting up and down. Go to that country. How do you do it that you will have floods and still have food to eat?
When we travel abroad, you know, we usually don't take the good part of their country, of those countries, because in those countries, their health system is functioning well, their education system is functioning well, they have steady power supply. But when we go there, you know, we always take the bad parts, or we go there and keep money.
And we'll come, yeah. We'll go back to that one another day. But this one that you'll be speaking a lot of Turanchi, English. So how do we resolve the 10 states now that are, and they are the food, like the food baskets of the nation? So how do we resolve it? So if I were them, I would just say, look, we just mitigate it.
It's already
we
late.
cut on our
It's
losses.
already late.
We
It's
cut
already
on our
late.
losses. We do some things, and you know about this, so do something about it.
It's already late.
As against
It's already
giving us
late.
hypertension. In
All
August.
right, quickly we go to X and see what is trending there. Very disturbing story coming from X this morning. And it's all about nurses in Nigeria. They're having some challenges, but they are not confident enough to come out and speak. But people on X are bashing the federal government simply because the federal government and the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria is refusing indefinitely to verify license for any nurse who plans and wants to travel abroad. The license verification is a mandatory requirement for anyone who trained in Nigeria to relocate abroad to work as a nurse.
I think
Joshua should be in support of this. You like what is happening?
Yes, he will be in support.
Because, yeah, I know.
Because they were trained here with our taxpayers' money.
They should work.
Why would they want to go
We
abroad?
spoke about it extensively last
Abi?
week.
And I like the laws. Remember what the Ministry of Health has, the president has even signed it into law. So I'm looking forward. Honestly speaking, if you want to go, go. For greener pastures, go. For your family, go. For your future, go. But not en masse like we have it. Also, there should be some kind of approach or a way to go about it that won't jeopardize the health of Nigerians.
Okay.
For me, it's a good one.
I know it's good for one to love his or our country, but what does the government or these professional bodies, what are they putting on the table?
Well, this is what government has provided.
What are they providing?
Subsidized education.
Joshua, when will you stop being sarcastic?
I'm not sarcastic. Subsidized education. If we
Those doctors that the federal government is trying to lure back into the country, they spoke over the weekend now.
What did they say?
Security improvements.
The government is working on it. The government is working on
Improved
it.
working
Make it
conditions
happen.
and then
Then those that are
security.
working here, let them call their colleagues abroad.
say, come back
Things have
home.
changed, though.
Things
Come
have
back home.
Exactly.
Yes, things have changed actually.
What has changed?
It has changed. That's changed.
Last year, scarcity. Year before, scarcity of petrol. So what has changed?
And it's
Right,
not
check
only
that
petrol
if
now.
you break this our
Food
table.
scarcity.
I'm shaking the table.
What
What
that's
are
what
you
I'm
telling
saying. Why
me?
they are saying that you want to break the table? That it's not this type of. It's not physical.
It's not this table.
Okay, then, sir, we need to go.
All right, we must take a very quick break on the program right now. When we come back, our first conversation for today is all about the call for a new constitution in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.